Now you know how to find all of the C's on your piano keyboard. And you may have noticed that there's a pattern that emerges with these C's. Notice if I start on the first C that's down here at the bottom, there are 8 white notes that separate this C from the C above it. So if I go C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on 8, I land on C again. And if I start counting 8 from this C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on 8, I land on another C. And that pattern repeats itself all through the piano keyboard. That phenomenon where every 8 notes the C repeats itself is known as the octave. That prefix OCT refers to something that comes in groups of 8. And if you notice, even just by our ear, as I go up every octave of C, it sounds like exactly the same pitch, but just sort of a higher or lower version of it. That's going to become really important throughout this semester. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to zoom in on the middle 2 octaves of the keyboard and examine the rest of the notes. Take a look at the rest of the notes. So we're going to say this note right in the middle here, this C, we know it's a C again because it's to the left of this group of 2. We're going to say this C is middle C right here. Which means this C at the bottom is what we call the octave below middle C. This C at the top, and even though the 2 black notes, one of the 2 black notes is cut off, this is still a C. The black note at the top is also a C. We call this the C, the octave above middle C. Now we're going to talk about the rest of the white notes that are in between here. So the white note that is directly above C, we call that D. The white note that's above D, we call E. The white note that's above E, we call F. The white note that's above F, we call G. The white note that's above G, we call A. And then the last white note before C, we call B. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And let me actually play that for you on the keyboard, starting on middle C and playing those 8 white notes going all the way up to the octave above middle C. That's a sound, or that's a melody that you may have heard before. That's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's what we call a major scale. We'll learn a lot more about a major scale and the details about it later on in the semester. But I think that's an interesting thing to know, that if you just play the white notes on the piano keyboard, starting from C all the way up, you get that very familiar sound of the major scale. And every octave on the piano keyboard between C and C has the same division of notes. So if I go down to the C, the octave below, the next note that I'm going to find is D, followed by E, followed by F, followed by G, followed by A, and B. So all those 8 notes that we had between middle C and the octave above middle C are replicated just at a lower pitch level in the octave below. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And in fact, what you'll notice is it is not only the C that has this relationship of the octave, where every 8 notes we get another C, but actually every one of these white notes has that same phenomenon. So for instance, if I take the note D, right here and I count up 8 notes from D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I will find that I land on another D. If I start from F, let me start from F, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I land in the octave above on another F. So now you have all the tools that you need to find any one of the white keys on the piano keyboard. Let me show you how that could work. Suppose I said, I want you to find me the G above middle C. Well, you know how to find middle C. You know that middle C is, here are the 2 black notes. C is going to be right here, just to the left of those 2 black notes. And if you wanted to find G above middle C, you would simply just count up. So C is the first note, D is the next one, E is the one after that, F is the one after that, and G, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 white notes above G. The only tricky thing you have to remember is that we reset to A on note number 6, so we don't go G, H, I, and so forth. We reset to A, and then B, and then C. But now you have all the tools that you need to find any one of the white notes at the piano keyboard. Notice, by the way, we haven't talked at all about the black notes. We'll be talking about those in a future video, but for now, we're going to concentrate on not just learning to identify the white notes of the keyboard, but really getting good at that and really getting fluent at that, because that's going to be an important skill for us.